What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Um, so does she need a man? I was out last night, long day yesterday, with some pretty young ladies. Cool. Did some things earlier in the day with some pretty young ladies who were cool. And the constant theme was some didn't want to get married, which I have no problem with that. I don't like the seems like a bad business arrangement to me. But they didn't want to get married because they felt like it's not about love anymore, so what's it really about? Which I could dig that. I can agree with that. And others wanted to have kids. Some, whether they were going to have them with someone or adopt or in vitro, they just wanted to have kids. And I was wondering, and I hung around a couple, hang around my homeboys or whatever, and they all say the same thing. The ladies love us. Us, I mean us, you know. But to a degree, it always seems like it's just they heard the stories and they want to know if it's true, and that goes for everybody, including our own, right? Then they pretty much know the deal when it comes to sex and all of that stuff, so they don't, they're not as curious as most, but that's pretty much the deal. Like we are sexual objects, just like women are. Um, but the fact that they don't want a man. It's very interesting because sometimes it seems like ladies are not getting what they're looking for. Sometimes they're looking for the wrong things. Sometimes it's a bit of both. You know, some don't, some want to be in charge. I mean, some feel like they want to be in charge because they're better long-term thinkers. Others just want to be in charge because they want to be in charge and they feel good about themselves. I guess when they feel like it's in charge, they're in charge rather. So it is what it is, right? But ultimately, when it comes down to the children thing, me and one of the young ladies was talking, and I was like, well, if you have kids, it's going to be kind of difficult because you can't raise a boy to be a man because you don't think and operate and understand the workings of actual men. And she's like, well, I might just adopt a girl. And I was like, that's dope, but you're still gonna have a problem. Like, how are you gonna teach her how to interact with men if you never do it? You know. And she's a cool girl. Like, you know, if I could hook one of y'all up with her and she was down for that, trust me, I would. She's a real cool girl. Um, and she was like, yeah, I guess that's a point. And we're not. And some people go off on a tangent where these people from single parent households. It's a mixed bag. Some are, some aren't. And I mean mixed bag by like 50-50, you know. So it's just the overall, do you really want a man is like 50-50. So if you grew up in the house with your dad and your mom and you saw them work together, you still might not want to do that. If you grew up with a single mother and feel like you don't need a man, that you know what I'm saying. And even in saying that, I also have a cool family member of mine who's engaged, who's gonna be getting married, and she made up in her mind the opposite. She was like, I see how this not wanting a man, needing a man thing doesn't work long term. So she's like, I'm not gonna. So in her thing, she wanted to break the cycle by actually getting being married, getting in a long-term relationship and building a family. So that happens also. So where did it all go wrong, right? And I wonder that at times. I really do. I know I can see where it went wrong, but because at the same time, I see women saying they don't need men or want men. That may be in the daytime, but in the nighttime, when they're lonely, or and I think this is because they never really got a chance to appreciate what a man can bring into a relationship to a woman. Not just in presence, not just in sex, but the small things. You know how many ladies I talk to? You don't know how many ladies I talk to, but you're on the phone with them. How many times does it happen? You're on the phone with them, and you can hear the the um the smoke detector going off because they never change the battery. Or I mean, I was at work, late, had to stop working for a second to help a lady put a tire on. I was at work prior another time and I had to stop and help a lady get. She had to edge her yard. She couldn't cut the lawnmower on. It was she didn't know how to use that kind. So I was doing that, and you know, and these things at work, right? While I'm at work, not but all the small things that women seem to take for granted. Like it's different when you got a man that takes your car to the mechanic. He'll drive your car to the mechanic. Then it's different when he actually changes your oil or gives you a tune up or puts on your brakes. Um, that kind of stuff. Windshield wipers is different when he actually paints the house. It's different when he actually puts in the light fixtures and the fans. It's um it's different when he takes you out, dinner's on him, and you're like, chill out, relax, just look pretty and kick your feet up. It's different. And sometimes, you know, when women are young, all the little things seem to be overlooked because of the unimportance. Like it's different if you got plumbing issues and a guy could just come over, bang, let me get that, we done, good. It's a completely different thing, right? And over time, when you're young, you don't see the importance of that or the need for that. You don't see how that affects your bottom line, how that affects your pocketbook, how the amount of expenses you incur on a weekly and monthly basis because you don't have a man. When you have one who's actually productive, how much money it saves you, how much time it saves you, like how the system of you both working as a team is not just a system of gender roles and submission. It's also a system that saves time, saves money. It allows you to put your energies to different things. It allows you to get more breaks as a parent that you need. It allows you to pursue other goals without having to um, lose in sleep or forget other things because you got people. You can handle each other's things, right? And I see a lot of women when they're older, they start realizing, oh man, if I had a man to do this, it wouldn't be so. If a man to do that, it's all the things that they overlooked with what they thought a man wasn't important for. They become very important when they get older. Even with child rearing, right? So the funny thing is, does she need a man? I think so, but do I understand the point of not thinking you do in this society? Yeah, I can understand that. I can understand it. Is it right? A lot of things in life aren't right. A lot of things aren't fair. But I'm just saying. Like, tell me what you see. Feel like Luther. Are you still in love Woo. You had that deep one in there, didn't it? All right, man.